You ever notice how some people treat kindness like it's an endless resource? Like kindness is a currency you can hand out without ever worrying about the balance in your own account. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Kindness isn't about giving until you're drained. It's about giving with wisdom, knowing when to open your heart and when to protect it. Because if you keep being kind to everyone without boundaries, without discernment, you're not just giving, you're losing your peace, your strength, your joy. And one day you'll wake up feeling empty, wondering why you're so tired, why your light feels dimmer than before. Kindness is a power, it's a gift, but just like any power, if you don't manage it, if you don't protect it, it can be used against you. It can be drained, exploited, and left shattered. There's a difference between being kind and being a doormat, between compassion and complacency, between generosity and self-sacrifice that leads to burnout. And that line, my friend, is where most people lose themselves. Kindness is often seen as an unlimited resource, something that we can freely give away to anyone and everyone without consequence. But the reality is far from that. Kindness is a powerful force. And like any power, it requires careful management and thoughtful application. When you give your kindness without boundaries or limits, you risk draining yourself emotionally, mentally, and physically. This is because kindness at its core involves energy that you invest in others through your actions, attention, and emotional availability. If you pour out this energy indiscriminately, you end up depleting your own reserves, leaving yourself exhausted and vulnerable. The idea of kindness as a finite resource might feel uncomfortable at first. After all, many of us were raised to believe that kindness means always putting others first, that it's a moral imperative to help anyone who asks, regardless of the cost to ourselves. But kindness doesn't mean sacrificing your well-being or your boundaries just to avoid conflict or to be seen as good. True kindness includes knowing when to give and when to hold back, when to open your heart and when to protect it. Without these limits, kindness becomes self-neglect, and what should be a source of joy turns into a source of pain. When you don't manage your kindness wisely, you expose yourself to being taken advantage of. There are people who will see your generosity and compassion as an opportunity to demand more and more without giving anything in return. They may drain your emotional energy by constantly relying on you to fix their problems, listen to their complaints, or provide support without reciprocation. This kind of imbalance creates a toxic cycle where your kindness fuels their dependency, but your own needs are left unmet. Over time, this can lead to resentment, frustration, and a deep sense of exhaustion. Moreover, indiscriminate kindness can cloud your judgment. When you feel obligated to be kind to everyone, you might overlook warning signs that someone is harmful or toxic to you. You may ignore your own instincts that tell you to step away or protect yourself because you're focused solely on being kind. This blind generosity can leave you vulnerable to emotional manipulation, burnout, and even damage to your self-esteem. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries and appreciate your kindness when it is given thoughtfully, not when it is given at your expense. Managing kindness means learning to recognize where your energy is best spent. It's about understanding that your emotional and mental well-being is as important as anyone else's. When you approach kindness with this mindset, you start to see it as a skill, something that requires balance and self-awareness. You learn to identify when your kindness is helping to uplift others and when it is enabling negative patterns or draining your own resources. This discernment allows you to be kind in ways that are sustainable and healthy rather than depleting. One important aspect of managing kindness is setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your energy from being overrun. They tell others how much you are willing and able to give without sacrificing your own well-being. Setting boundaries can be uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to always saying yes, but boundaries are essential because they help you preserve your energy for situations and people who truly deserve and appreciate it. Without boundaries, your kindness becomes an open invitation for others to overstep and drain you. Another key part of managing kindness is learning to say no. Saying no doesn't mean you're unkind or uncaring. It means you value yourself enough to recognize your limits. Every time you say no to something that drains you unnecessarily, you're saying yes to your own health and peace of mind. This protects your kindness from becoming a source of stress or depletion. When you say no thoughtfully, you're actually preserving your capacity to be kind in the most meaningful and impactful ways. Kindness also involves being selective about where you invest your emotional energy. Not everyone deserves the same level of kindness or attention. Some people may only need a small dose of your compassion, while others deserve your full presence and support. When you learn to distinguish between these, you avoid spreading yourself too thin. This selectivity doesn't mean you're cold or uncaring. It means you're being strategic and protective of your own emotional resources. Finally, managing kindness well helps you maintain your own happiness and fulfillment. When kindness becomes a burden, you lose the joy that comes from genuine generosity. But when you protect your energy and give kindness thoughtfully, you experience a deep sense of satisfaction and purpose. Your kindness becomes a gift, not a weight. It empowers you and inspires others, creating a positive ripple effect that benefits everyone involved. In summary, kindness is a form of energy that must be given with care and balance. Without managing it wisely, it can lead to emotional exhaustion, vulnerability, and resentment. By setting boundaries, learning to say no, being selective with your kindness, and recognizing where your energy is best spent, you protect yourself while still offering genuine, meaningful kindness to the world. This approach not only preserves your well-being, but also amplifies the true power and impact of your kindness. Being kind does not mean becoming a doormat for others to walk all over. Many people confuse kindness with weakness or complacency, believing that to be kind, they must tolerate everything, every bad behavior, every disrespect, every unreasonable demand, without standing up for themselves. But true kindness has nothing to do with allowing yourself to be mistreated or ignored. It has everything to do with balance, respect, and self-worth. Understanding this difference is crucial if you want to protect your energy and maintain your peace. Kindness is an expression of generosity and compassion, but it also requires strength and boundaries. Without boundaries, kindness becomes a one-way street where others take freely, but you receive little or nothing in return. When you let others overstep your limits repeatedly, you not only lose respect for yourself, but you also teach them to treat you as less than you deserve. This is how kindness without self-protection can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and exhaustion. A boundary is essentially a line you draw that defines what is acceptable and what is not in how others treat you. Setting boundaries means saying, I care about you, but I also care about myself. And it protects your emotional and mental well-being. These boundaries can take many forms: saying no to requests that drain you, walking away from toxic conversations, limiting time spent with negative people, or refusing to tolerate disrespect. Boundaries aren't walls to shut others out. They are gates you control to decide who gets in and how much they take. When you understand that kindness doesn't mean unlimited tolerance, you begin to see your relationships differently. You start noticing when someone is taking advantage of your goodwill or when your kindness is being exploited. This awareness is empowering because it allows you to protect your energy proactively. You no longer give out kindness blindly, but rather you give it intentionally to those who respect and value it. One of the most difficult things about setting boundaries is overcoming guilt. Many people feel guilty for saying no or for prioritizing their needs over others. This guilt often stems from the belief that kindness means self-sacrifice or that saying no is being selfish. But in reality, not setting boundaries is far more damaging to you and your relationships. Without boundaries, your kindness becomes unsustainable. You risk burning out, and when that happens, you can no longer be kind at all. Boundaries actually enhance your kindness by ensuring that when you do give, it comes from a place of strength and genuine desire, not obligation or depletion. When you protect yourself, you preserve your energy so that your kindness remains authentic and impactful. People can sense when kindness is forced or resentful, and it rarely has a positive effect. But kindness that flows from a protected and respected self is powerful. It builds trust, respect, and deeper connection. Another important aspect of kindness, balanced with boundaries, is learning to recognize unhealthy patterns. Sometimes people repeatedly cross your boundaries because they are used to getting away with it. This can happen in family relationships, friendships, or work environments. Recognizing these patterns is the first step in breaking free from them. When you consistently reinforce your boundaries, others will learn to respect them or step away if they are unwilling to do so. This can be challenging and may lead to difficult conversations or even the end of certain relationships, but it's necessary for your long-term well-being. It's also important to remember that kindness with boundaries does not mean you have to be harsh or unkind. You can be firm yet compassionate. You can say no politely and still be respectful. Being kind includes being honest and clear about what you need to protect your peace. You don't have to justify your boundaries extensively. Simply stating them calmly and confidently is enough. When you maintain boundaries, you also teach others how to treat you. People tend to treat us the way we allow them to. If you accept poor treatment or tolerate disrespect, that becomes the norm. But when you consistently stand up for yourself and protect your energy, you send a clear message. You value yourself and expect others to do the same. This not only protects you, but raises the quality of your relationships overall. Living with clear boundaries can transform your life. You'll find that you have more energy, more peace, and more joy. You won't be caught in endless cycles of giving and feeling drained. Instead, you'll be able to focus your kindness where it truly matters, on people and causes that uplift you and reciprocate your care. In summary, kindness is not synonymous with complacency or weakness. It is essential to set boundaries that protect your emotional and mental well-being. Boundaries allow you to say no when necessary, prevent others from taking advantage of you, and ensure that your kindness is given intentionally and authentically. By valuing yourself and your energy, you empower your kindness to have a greater, more meaningful impact in your life and the lives of those around you. Not everyone deserves your kindness, your time, or your energy. This is a hard truth to accept, especially if you've been raised to believe that kindness should be extended to all without exception. But in reality, kindness is a precious resource, and your energy is limited. Giving indiscriminately to everyone can leave you depleted and overwhelmed. And worse, it can encourage toxic patterns that harm both you and others. Learning to be selective about where and to whom you offer your kindness is essential to protect your well-being and maintain genuine connections. The concept of deserving kindness doesn't mean you withhold compassion from people in need or refuse to help others. Instead, it means recognizing that not every interaction, relationship, or person is healthy or beneficial for you. Some people will not appreciate your kindness, will take it for granted, or will exploit it for their own gain. When you give to those who don't respect or reciprocate your kindness, it creates an imbalance that can drain your energy and damage your self-esteem. Understanding who deserves your kindness requires discernment. It's about being mindful of the impact people have on your emotional and mental health. Are they supportive and uplifting? Do they respect your boundaries? Do they show appreciation and care? Or do they consistently take more than they give, leave you feeling drained, or bring negativity into your life? The answers to these questions guide you in deciding where to invest your kindness. Being selective doesn't make you cold or uncaring. It makes you wise and self-respecting. When you learn to say no to people or situations that don't deserve your kindness, you free up your energy to nurture the relationships and activities that truly matter. This focus allows your kindness to be more meaningful and impactful. Instead of spreading yourself thin, trying to please everyone, you concentrate your efforts on those who uplift you and with whom you share mutual respect and care. Many people struggle with this selectiveness because they fear rejection or judgment. They worry that if they stop being kind to everyone, they'll be seen as selfish or uncaring. This fear can trap you in cycles of overgiving and self-neglect. But the reality is that your kindness is most valuable when it's genuine and sustainable. If you give until you're empty, your kindness loses its power and authenticity. Another important aspect of being selective is recognizing that some relationships are simply toxic. These might be friendships, family connections, or work relationships that consistently cause stress, anxiety, or pain. No matter how much kindness you offer, these relationships may not improve because the other person is unwilling or unable to change. Holding on to these connections out of obligation or guilt only harms you. Learning to distance yourself, set limits, or even walk away is a vital form of self-kindness. Being selective also means understanding that kindness isn't a tool to fix others. Sometimes people need to face consequences for their actions or learn from their mistakes. Constantly rescuing or enabling someone who doesn't value your help can prevent both of you from growing. Protecting your energy by choosing when and how to offer kindness encourages healthier dynamics and personal responsibility. It's helpful to view kindness as a form of investment. Just like you wouldn't invest your money blindly, you shouldn't invest your emotional energy indiscriminately. Wise investments yield returns. Relationships where kindness is met with respect, gratitude, and reciprocity. Unwise investments drain you and leave you vulnerable. When you practice selectiveness, you protect your emotional portfolio, so to speak, ensuring your kindness yields positive growth. Learning to be selective requires self-awareness and reflection. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions with different people. Do you feel energized and appreciated or drained and undervalued? Your feelings are valuable indicators of where your kindness is well placed. Trusting your intuition and experiences helps you make better choices about who deserves your kindness. It's also important to communicate your boundaries clearly to others. When you decide to be selective, you may need to explain why you are limiting your kindness or availability. This doesn't have to be confrontational. It can be a calm and honest expression of your needs. People who respect you will understand and honor your decisions. Those who don't respect your boundaries reveal themselves, allowing you to step back without guilt. Choosing kindness selectively doesn't mean turning your back on the world or becoming indifferent. It means valuing yourself enough to protect your energy and give where it truly counts. This approach nurtures your well-being and enhances your ability to make a positive difference in the lives of those who matter most. By being selective, you also set a powerful example for others. You show that kindness is not about endless giving, but about wise giving. You teach others to respect themselves and their energy, fostering healthier, more balanced relationships across the board. Recognizing that not everyone deserves your kindness is a form of self-respect and empowerment. It allows you to preserve your energy, protect your peace, and focus your compassion where it can create genuine, lasting impact. This discernment transforms kindness from a burdensome obligation into a powerful, life-giving force that benefits both you and those around you. Protecting your energy is often misunderstood as selfishness, but it is anything but that. In truth, protecting your energy is an act of profound self-love and a necessary strategy for survival in a world that constantly demands more from us. Every day, we are bombarded with people, situations, and emotions that can drain us if we don't have strong boundaries and awareness. Without protecting your energy, you risk losing your sense of self, your peace, and your ability to function at your best. It is essential to understand that taking care of your energy is not only about preserving your well-being, but also about maintaining your capacity to show up fully for yourself and others. When you protect your energy, you create a space where you can thrive instead of merely survive. Imagine your energy as a bank account. If you keep withdrawing without deposits, eventually your balance hits zero. Protecting your energy means being mindful of what you allow in and how much you spend. It means choosing wisely where to invest your time, attention, and emotional resources so that you don't run empty. This is not a luxury. It is a necessity. If you don't take care of yourself first, you won't have the strength to care for others or pursue your goals effectively. Self-love is at the core of protecting your energy. Loving yourself means acknowledging that your needs, feelings, and limits matter. It means giving yourself permission to say no to things that drain you, to distance yourself from toxic environments, and to prioritize activities and relationships that nourish you. This kind of love is not narcissism or indulgence. It's a healthy recognition that you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you honor your energy and protect it, you demonstrate respect for yourself and model healthy behavior for those around you. Many people confuse protecting their energy with being unkind or distant, but these ideas couldn't be further from the truth. Protecting your energy actually enhances your kindness because it ensures that when you give, it comes from a place of abundance rather than depletion. When your energy is protected, your kindness is more genuine, more patient, and more impactful. You become a source of positive energy rather than a reservoir that others drain. This makes your relationships healthier and more fulfilling. The reality is that the world contains energy vampires. People and situations that suck the life out of you. These can be toxic relationships, negative environments, or even your own inner critic. Protecting your energy means recognizing these drains and taking steps to minimize their impact. This could mean limiting time spent with people who consistently bring negativity, setting boundaries with family or colleagues, or practicing self-care rituals that recharge you. It is not always easy, but it is necessary for your survival and growth. Protecting your energy also requires courage. It means standing firm in your decisions, even when others don't understand or agree, saying no to social invitations, refusing to engage in drama, or walking away from harmful situations can feel isolating at times. But these acts of protection are powerful forms of self-respect. They send a clear message that your well-being is non-negotiable. Over time, this strengthens your sense of self and builds resilience. And another key aspect is awareness. Protecting your energy involves tuning in to how different experiences affect you. Notice when you feel drained, anxious, or overwhelmed, and take that as a sign to pause and reset. Develop practices like meditation, journaling, or deep breathing that help you reconnect with yourself and restore your energy. Being proactive about your energy management allows you to maintain balance and avoid burnout. Protecting your energy is also essential for your mental health. Constant exposure to stress, negativity, or toxic people can lead to anxiety, depression, and other emotional struggles. By safeguarding your energy, you create a buffer that shields you from unnecessary harm. This doesn't mean shutting down or avoiding challenges, but rather choosing your battles wisely and conserving your strength for what truly matters. When you protect your energy, you also improve your productivity and creativity. Exhaustion clouds your mind and stifles your inspiration. In contrast, when you feel energized and centered, you can focus better, think more clearly, and approach tasks with enthusiasm. This allows you to perform at your best in all areas of life, from work to relationships to personal growth. Finally, protecting your energy sets the foundation for long-term happiness and fulfillment. It helps you build a life that aligns with your values and needs rather than one dictated by others' demands or expectations. It empowers you to create boundaries that honor your peace and prioritize what brings you joy. This intentional living leads to deeper satisfaction and a stronger sense of purpose. In essence, protecting your energy is a vital form of self-care rooted in love and respect for yourself. It is a practice that enables you to maintain your well-being, nurture your relationships, and live a life of authenticity and balance. Embracing this mindset is one of the most empowering choices you can make on your journey to a healthier, happier. Taking control of your energy starts with understanding the power of saying no. Saying no is one of the most liberating and important skills you can develop, especially when it comes to protecting your energy and maintaining your mental and emotional health. Many people struggle with saying no because they fear disappointing others, being judged, or feeling guilty. But the truth is, saying no is not just an act of refusal. It's a powerful way to set boundaries, honor your priorities, and take control of your life. When you say no, you are essentially choosing what deserves your time, attention, and energy. You are deciding what aligns with your values, goals, and well-being. Without the ability to say no, you can easily become overwhelmed by demands, obligations, and requests that don't serve you or that drain your resources. Saying no helps you create space for what truly matters, allowing you to focus on your growth, your happiness, and your peace of mind. Learning to say no is especially important because it protects you from overcommitment and burnout. When you agree to everything, you stretch yourself too thin and leave little room for rest or self-care. This can lead to exhaustion, resentment, and even health problems. Saying no is a way to preserve your energy so that you can show up fully and authentically in the areas of your life that matter most to you. It's important to recognize that saying no does not have to be harsh or confrontational. It can be done with kindness, respect, and clarity. You don't owe anyone a long explanation or justification for your no. A simple, firm, and polite refusal is enough. For example, saying, "I'm unable to take that on right now," or "I need to focus on my priorities," communicates your boundaries without burning bridges. People who respect you will understand, and those who don't may reveal themselves, helping you make clearer decisions about your relationships. Another aspect of saying no is learning to identify what you want to say yes to. Often, people get stuck in the habit of saying yes out of obligation or fear without considering their own desires or limits. When you become intentional about your choices, you empower yourself to say yes to things that enrich your life, whether that's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or taking care of your health. Saying no then becomes a tool that supports your yes. Saying no also means protecting your emotional energy. There are situations, conversations, or people that drain you emotionally. Saying no to engaging in unnecessary drama, gossip, or conflict helps you maintain emotional balance. It allows you to preserve your mental peace and avoid getting pulled into negativity that doesn't serve your well-being. This skill of saying no is a form of self-respect. It sends a clear message to yourself and others that your needs and limits matter. When you consistently practice saying no, you build confidence and strengthen your boundaries. Over time, this makes it easier to protect your energy and avoid situations that leave you feeling drained or overwhelmed. It's natural to feel uncomfortable when you first start saying no more often. You might worry about hurting others' feelings or damaging relationships, but it's important to remember that your well-being is just as important as anyone else's. True relationships respect boundaries and appreciate your honesty. Those that don't may not be healthy connections to hold on to. Saying no also empowers you to take charge of your time. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and it's finite. When you say no to things that don't align with your priorities, you reclaim your time for rest, creativity, and meaningful experiences. This intentional use of time contributes to a balanced and fulfilling life. Additionally, learning to say no fosters independence and personal growth. It encourages you to listen to your intuition and make decisions based on what feels right for you rather than external pressure. This autonomy builds resilience and helps you develop a stronger sense of self. The ability to say no is not about shutting people out or being rude. It's about being honest with yourself and others about your limits and needs. It's about creating a life where your energy is invested wisely and your kindness is given authentically. By mastering this skill, you protect your peace and create space for the things that truly bring you joy and fulfillment. Saying no is a radical act of self-care and empowerment. It transforms how you manage your energy and relationships, enabling you to live with greater clarity, purpose, and peace. When you embrace the power of no, you reclaim your life and protect the precious energy that fuels your happiness and success. Setting boundaries is one of the most crucial ways to protect your energy and maintain your well-being. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define what you will accept and tolerate in your relationships and environments. Without clear boundaries, your energy can be drained by others' demands, expectations, or negative behaviors. Learning to set and enforce boundaries is not only about protecting yourself, but also about teaching others how to treat you with respect. It's an essential skill for anyone who wants to live a balanced and fulfilling life. Many people struggle with boundaries because they fear conflict, rejection, or disappointing others. They worry that setting limits will make them seem selfish or uncaring. However, boundaries are the foundation of healthy relationships and self-respect. When you set boundaries, you create a safe space for yourself where your needs and feelings are honored. This safety allows you to show up as your best self rather than being exhausted or resentful. Boundaries come in many forms: emotional, physical, mental, and even digital. Emotional boundaries protect your feelings and mental health by limiting exposure to toxic conversations or people who drain you emotionally. Physical boundaries involve your personal space and privacy. Mental boundaries guard your thoughts and beliefs, helping you avoid being manipulated or pressured into things that don't align with your values. Digital boundaries regulate your interaction with technology and social media to prevent overwhelm and negativity. Setting boundaries requires self-awareness. You need to know your limits, your triggers, and what behaviors or situations cause you stress or discomfort. This awareness helps you communicate your needs clearly to others. For example, if a friend constantly demands your time but never respects your schedule, setting a boundary might mean telling them you are only available at certain times or need advance notice before plans. This clarity protects your energy and reduces frustration. Enforcing boundaries is just as important as setting them. It's not enough to say what you need. You must also follow through when boundaries are crossed. This may involve calmly reminding others of your limits, or, in some cases, distancing yourself from people who repeatedly disrespect your boundaries. Enforcement can feel difficult, especially if you are used to putting others' needs before your own. However, consistent enforcement is necessary to maintain your energy and protect your mental health. Boundaries also help prevent resentment. When you don't set limits, you may end up feeling used, unappreciated, or overwhelmed. This can lead to anger and bitterness, which are heavy emotional burdens. By setting boundaries, you take responsibility for your emotional well-being and reduce the chances of these negative feelings building up. It's important to remember that setting boundaries is not about controlling others, but about taking control of your own life. You cannot change how people behave, but you can control how you respond and what you allow into your space. Boundaries empower you to choose interactions that are positive and supportive while minimizing those that are harmful. Healthy boundaries also improve communication. When you express your needs clearly, it reduces misunderstandings and builds trust. Others are more likely to respect you and your time when you are honest and direct. Over time, this leads to stronger, more balanced relationships where kindness and respect flow both ways. Many people feel guilty when they first set boundaries because they worry about hurting others. This guilt often stems from a deep desire to be liked or accepted. However, it's important to challenge this guilt by reminding yourself that your well-being is not a negotiable luxury. It's a necessity. When you take care of yourself, you are better equipped to care for others and contribute positively to your relationships. Setting boundaries also protects your creativity and productivity. Without boundaries, distractions and interruptions can derail your focus and drain your energy. By setting limits on your time and availability, you create a structured environment where you can work efficiently and recharge when needed. This structure supports your personal and professional growth. It's normal for boundary setting to feel uncomfortable at first. You might encounter resistance or pushback from people who are used to your old patterns. Some may test your limits to see if you really mean what you say. This is why consistency is key. Standing firm in your boundaries shows that you value yourself and expect others to do the same. Self-compassion plays a vital role in boundary setting. Be patient with yourself as you learn this new skill. Celebrate small victories and recognize that setting boundaries is a process, not a one-time event. Each time you assert a boundary, you strengthen your ability to protect your energy and live authentically. Boundaries also encourage mutual respect. When you respect your own limits, others learn to respect them as well. This mutual respect creates healthier, more satisfying relationships. It also reduces stress and conflict, making your interactions more peaceful and enjoyable. In a world that often demands more than we can give, boundaries are essential for survival. They are not walls to keep people out, but gates to protect your inner peace and energy. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you take charge of your life and create a foundation for happiness and success. Boundaries are a gift you give yourself, an act of kindness and protection that honors your worth and preserves your energy. They enable you to live a life aligned with your values, where kindness is shared with those who truly deserve it, and your energy is safeguarded for your highest good. Being selective with whom you share your energy is one of the most powerful ways to protect your well-being and maintain your inner peace. Not everyone deserves a place in your life or access to your emotional, mental, and physical resources. Learning to be discerning about the people you allow into your circle can dramatically improve your quality of life, boost your happiness, and safeguard your energy from unnecessary drain. The truth is, energy is finite. Each interaction we have with others requires us to give something of ourselves. Some people recharge us, others deplete us. When you are mindful about who you spend your time and energy with, you naturally create a positive environment that supports your growth, joy, and peace. Conversely, surrounding yourself with toxic or negative people can leave you feeling exhausted, anxious, and emotionally drained. One reason being selective is so important is that not everyone has your best interests at heart. Some people may be unaware of the energy they take or simply self-centered. Others might intentionally drain you through manipulation, criticism, or negativity. Protecting yourself means recognizing these patterns and choosing to limit or eliminate contact with those who consistently take without giving back. Being selective doesn't mean you have to be rude, dismissive, or unkind. It means you are intentional and mindful. You assess your relationships and ask yourself, does this person lift me up or bring me down? Do they respect my boundaries? Do they support my growth? Do I feel energized or drained after spending time with them? Honest answers to these questions guide you in deciding who deserves your time and energy. It's also essential to recognize that being selective applies to all types of relationships: family, friends, coworkers, acquaintances, and even casual encounters. Sometimes family members can be a significant source of energy drain, especially if boundaries have been blurred or toxic patterns persist. Choosing how to interact with family can be one of the hardest but most crucial decisions for protecting your energy. It's okay to limit contact or change the nature of those relationships if they are harmful to your peace. Being selective means you prioritize quality over quantity in your relationships. Having a smaller circle of genuine, supportive people is far more beneficial than maintaining numerous shallow or draining connections. These meaningful relationships nourish your soul, provide encouragement, and help you navigate life's challenges with strength and optimism. When you are selective, you also create space for personal growth. Positive relationships inspire and challenge you to become the best version of yourself. They celebrate your successes, encourage your dreams, and offer support during tough times. These connections act as an energy source, fueling your motivation and happiness. Being selective also allows you to protect your emotional energy. Some people can be emotionally demanding or toxic, constantly seeking attention, validation, or drama. Engaging with such individuals can leave you feeling depleted and overwhelmed. By choosing to limit your exposure to emotional vampires, you preserve your mental and emotional health. It's important to be selective with your energy, even in professional settings. Workplace dynamics can be challenging, and not every colleague will have your best interests at heart. Protecting your energy at work might involve setting clear boundaries, avoiding office gossip, and choosing carefully whom to trust and collaborate with. This discernment helps you maintain focus, reduce stress, and create a healthier work environment. Being selective is not about building walls or isolating yourself. It's about creating a protective filter. It's about allowing only those who respect, value, and uplift you to enter your inner world. This filter helps you avoid unnecessary negativity and keeps your environment conducive to peace and productivity. Learning to be selective often requires reflection and honesty. You might need to reevaluate long-standing relationships and question their impact on your life. This can be uncomfortable or even painful, but it's necessary for your well-being. Growth often involves letting go of what no longer serves you. Being selective also enhances your self-respect. When you choose who to invest in wisely, you affirm your worth and your right to a peaceful life. This self-respect radiates outward, influencing how others treat you and reinforcing healthy boundaries. Sometimes being selective means making difficult choices, such as distancing yourself from people you care about or ending toxic friendships. These decisions take courage, but are essential steps in protecting your energy. Remember, you can care about someone and still choose to protect yourself from harm. Being selective with your energy also encourages reciprocity in relationships. Healthy connections are balanced. Both parties give and receive support, respect, and kindness. When you notice a relationship is one-sided or consistently draining, it's a sign to reconsider its place in your life. Being selective allows you to focus on relationships that align with your values and vision for your life. When your inner circle shares your outlook and goals, you create a powerful support system that propels you forward. This alignment fosters motivation, accountability, and mutual growth. It's worth noting that being selective with your energy doesn't mean you have to judge or reject others harshly. It means setting standards for the kind of energy you want around you and acting accordingly. This discernment creates a healthier, more positive environment for you and those you choose to keep close. By being selective, you also protect your time and mental space. Energy and time are closely linked, and wasted energy on draining relationships also wastes your precious time. Choosing wisely ensures you invest your resources where they matter most, leading to a more fulfilling and balanced life. In essence, being selective with your energy is an act of self-care, wisdom, and empowerment. It's a conscious decision to surround yourself with positivity, support, and respect while minimizing exposure to negativity and harm. This practice not only safeguards your energy, but also enriches your life with meaningful connections that inspire and uplift you. As you cultivate this discernment, you will notice a profound shift in your well-being. You'll feel lighter, more focused, and more at peace. Your relationships will deepen in authenticity, and your energy will become a powerful force for growth and happiness. This selectivity is a gift you give yourself, a foundation for a life filled with joy, strength, and balance. Protecting your energy is not just about managing external factors. It deeply involves nurturing and prioritizing yourself. Self-care is often misunderstood as indulgence or luxury, but in reality, it is a vital practice for preserving your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. When you commit to prioritizing yourself, you create a foundation that allows you to maintain balance, resilience, and a positive outlook, even amid life's challenges. Many people fall into the trap of putting others first constantly, friends, family, colleagues, while neglecting their own needs. This pattern can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and eventually burnout. Prioritizing yourself means recognizing that your needs are just as important as those of others. It's about honoring your limits, listening to your body and mind, and making choices that support your health and happiness. Prioritizing yourself starts with understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup. When your energy is depleted, your ability to care for others and handle life's demands diminishes. By taking care of yourself first, you replenish your resources so you can show up fully and authentically in your relationships and responsibilities. Self-care looks different for everyone because each person has unique needs and preferences. For some, it might mean setting aside time daily for meditation, exercise, or hobbies. For others, it could involve creating boundaries around work hours or seeking professional help when needed. The key is to identify what activities and practices genuinely restore your energy and make you feel nurtured. A crucial part of prioritizing yourself is learning to listen to your inner voice. Your intuition often signals when you are overwhelmed, stressed, or running low on energy. Ignoring these signals can lead to physical and emotional consequences. Paying attention to these cues allows you to take timely action, whether that means resting, seeking support, or adjusting your commitments.
Many people struggle with guilt when they prioritize themselves, especially if they are caretakers or naturally empathetic individuals. This guilt often stems from societal expectations or internalized beliefs that self-care is selfish. It's important to challenge these beliefs and reframe self-care as an essential act of self-respect and sustainability. Taking care of yourself enables you to better care for others without depleting your own energy. Prioritizing yourself also means being mindful of your mental and emotional boundaries. This can involve limiting exposure to negative news, social media, or toxic conversations that drain your energy. It might also mean practicing forgiveness, letting go of grudges, or seeking joy and positivity actively. Mental self-care keeps your thoughts balanced and your spirit uplifted. Physical self-care is equally important. Adequate sleep, nutritious food, regular movement, and relaxation practices are the pillars that sustain your body's energy. When you neglect physical self-care, your energy levels drop and your resilience to stress weakens. Prioritizing your body sends a powerful message to yourself that you value your health and well-being. Another aspect of prioritizing yourself is giving yourself permission to rest and recharge without guilt. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, taking breaks can feel unproductive or lazy. However, rest is a critical component of maintaining your energy and mental clarity. Regular rest prevents burnout and keeps your motivation and creativity flowing. Prioritizing yourself also means setting clear intentions about how you want to live your life. When you understand your values and goals, it becomes easier to make decisions that support your well-being. This clarity helps you avoid distractions and energy drains, focusing instead on what truly matters to you. Self-care can include spiritual practices as well, such as prayer, meditation, or time spent in nature. These practices nourish your soul and create a sense of peace and connection. When you feel grounded spiritually, you are more resilient to external stressors and better able to protect your energy. It's important to recognize that prioritizing yourself is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice. Life's demands will always come, and there will be times when you feel stretched thin. Consistently choosing to prioritize your well-being, even in small ways, builds a habit that sustains you over the long term. Prioritizing yourself also involves learning to celebrate your achievements and progress. Recognizing your growth boosts your confidence and reinforces positive habits. It encourages a mindset of self-compassion rather than self-criticism, which is vital for maintaining emotional health. Being kind to yourself during setbacks is another critical part of prioritizing yourself. Everyone faces challenges and failures. How you respond to them affects your energy and motivation. Practicing self-compassion allows you to recover faster, learn from experiences, and maintain your drive toward your goals. Sometimes prioritizing yourself means making tough decisions, like saying no to commitments that don't serve you or distancing yourself from negative influences. These choices require courage and self-awareness, but are necessary for long-term energy protection and happiness. It's also essential to surround yourself with supportive people who respect your need for self-care and encourage your growth. Positive social connections enhance your energy and well being, making your self care efforts more effective. Prioritizing yourself is about embracing your worth and recognizing that you deserve happiness, peace, and fulfillment. When you value yourself, you naturally protect your energy and create a life that reflects your true self. This foundation of self prioritization empowers you to face life's challenges with strength, grace, and confidence.